First up, BCCI chief Sourav Ganguly has now weighed in on former India captain Virat Kohli's poor form. Remember, Kohli is going through a lean patch, which has stirred a buzz. Ganguly said that Kohli has been a great player and knows his own standard and has to find his way back to success. The BCCI chief also added that poor form is a part and parcel of the sport and that many others like himself, Sachin Tendulkar as well as Rahul Dravid, have been in poor form at certain phases in their careers.
Look at the numbers he's got in international cricket. That doesn't happen without ability and quality. Yes, he's had a tough time and he knows he's been a great player himself. So he knows himself by his own standards it has not been good, and I see him coming back and doing well. But he's got to find a way which makes him successful, as he has been for the last 12, 13 years or maybe even more. And only Virat Kohli can do that. Yeah, these things will happen in sport. It's happened to everybody. It's happened to Sachin, it's happened to Rahul, it's happened to me. It's happened to Kohli, it's going to happen to the future players. That's part and parcel of sport, and I think as a sportsman you just need to listen, be aware of what it is and just go and play your game.
We have Gaurav Gupta, Senior Assistant Editor of Times of India, joining us with more details. So Gaurav, this is clearly a much needed support and a motivation that perhaps Virat Kohli needs at the moment. We heard some encouraging words by Sourav Ganguly right there backing Virat Kohli.
Definitely, it's a very warm gesture on part of Sourav to actually support Virat at this when he's feeling really low and in really the worst form of his life, you have to consider the past between them when you see Saurav's statement and see the Saurav's statement in that light. The things haven't been great between them, considering that what happened when Sourav decided to quit the T20I captaincy last year, India's T20I captaincy, and the selectors and the BCCI were not entirely pleased about it, considering that the T20 World Cup was just round the corner. So I mean, a year down the line, I think Sourav has joined. This support is crucial at a time when there are top former cricketers like Kapil Dev, Venkatesh Prasad, a lot of others who have questioned Virat's place openly in the T20I side. But then, at that point of time, the BCCI president, for him to come out and say openly that been a player, and I think that's the advantage that you get when a top administrator has played the sport. Sourav has been a distinguished player himself. He himself went through a very bad patch and was involved in a controversial feud with the then coach Greg Chappell, and then bounced back, in tremendous fashion, and then signed off on a high from his international career. So he knows pretty well what Virat must be going through. But at the same time, let's not take this as a signal that things are rosy for Virat. At the end of the day, as Sourav has said, he has got to find a way to be successful, which only Virat can. So it is runs and runs alone which will help Virat save his place, I would say, in all three formats of the game, because right now his form has been bad across all the formats. But yes, it's very heartwarming to see Sourav backing Virat completely at this hour, and hopefully this spurs Virat on, and this sort of gives him the motivation that the India's entire cricketing administration is also behind him, because at the end of the day, it's a fact that somebody who's played cricket for a decade with such high numbers, as skipper Rohit Sharma pointed out the other day, cannot just go bad in cannot be judged in one or two innings, cannot have an extended lean patch like Virat is having, and there's bound to be a day when he will have one innings which will change everything. But then you have to also judge cricketers on current form. You have to also see that there's a lot of competition coming around for Virat, a lot of youngsters pushing for his place, especially in the T20I side. At the end of the day, you have to be practical and think that Virat has to score runs sooner than later. But yes, these sort of words will provide huge encouragement to Virat, and hopefully let's hope that he turns around the corner sometime in the future, and delights us all with his wonderful batting.
All right. Thank you, Gaurav, for all those details. So certainly words of support as far as Sourav Ganguly is concerned. And this comes especially after some of the cricketing legends like Kapil Dev criticized Virat Kohli's form in the recent past.